What's up, YouTube? So I actually got two videos I'm filming today. I'm not sure if they'll both be released today or not. I know for a fact I'm releasing this one. I'm gonna be doing this video, which is ranking the portrayals of Michael Myers by the movies, and then I'm also gonna be ranking the Ghostface killers. Like I said, not sure if I'm gonna be releasing both today. My Michael Myers ranking the Halloween films has been my most successful video, and I started this channel about approaching it's been like 13 days, so approaching 2 weeks. And that video is currently, at the time of this video being made, it's sitting at like 86, 87 views. And like I said a million times, this is predominantly a horror movie channel. So, especially when we get closer to Halloween, I'd like to just expand on that series. So yeah, I actually wrote down a list, and my dumbass completely realized halfway through. So I was ranking the Michael Myers actors, or ranking the portrayals, but doing it by the movie, and I went 13, 12, 11, 10. I was like, fuck, I completely forgot Michael Myers wasn't in Season of the Witch, and that's literally one of my biggest pet peeves with that entire franchise period. I was like, man, I just can't believe it. So diving straight in, and also I want to explain this. I'm not ranking the specific actors. I'm ranking Michael Myers, because a couple of these actors will be on the list a few different times, but it's the Michael Myers that they're portraying in the movie that I'm ranking. So dead last, Halloween Ends, and this is where me explaining that kind of comes into fruition, because James Jude Courtney plays Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. He plays in the whole new trilogy. You'll see him way higher up on this list. But I don't think he's a bad Michael Myers actor. I think the Michael Myers that he has to play in that movie is just ass. And he gets beat up by a high school kid who gets beat up by band kids. Think about that. That's all I have to say. I'm moving on. Coming up next, this is another thing. So Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 portrayal of Michael Myers. It has such I hate that so much, because not only is it him speaking at the end of the movie, he doesn't even have the mask on. He just walks around, and then when he does have it on, it's half off. Now I could see it being cool if it was another killer besides Michael Myers walking around, and then when they put the mask on, it gave him the urge to kill. But that completely defeats the purpose of why he went home in the 2007 one and got his mask immediately. He always wore masks to protect his face because he thought he was ugly. Now he just doesn't give a fuck about that. He speaks, we don't see him hardly as much. He's still menacing, I'll give you that, but it's just, I don't know, man. They call him Hobo Myers. I can't stand it. All right, so next I got Halloween Resurrection. And this and the next one were almost neck and neck. We all know this movie has a kung fu scene with Busta Rhymes beating the shit out of Michael Myers and making him look like a bitch. So this is three straight, at least in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, he don't look like a bitch. It's just him speaking really fumbled all that. But in Halloween Resurrection, man, he gets yelled at and bullied by Busta Rhymes twice, and his ass kicked. So it's dude, it's Michael fucking Myers. Do we not realize this is the Shape? This is the blackest eyes, evil, pure fucking evil. And he's getting bitched out and hoed around by a high schooler and a rapper. How do we make that mistake twice? I don't know. Moving on. So after that, I got Halloween 5. Now I watch a lot of Dead Meat. I'm sure you guys do too if you watch a lot of horror movies here on YouTube. He made a point in that video that cracked me up the first time I seen it. He was like, this Michael Myers doesn't really do anything intimidating. He just stands like this. And there was a scene when I was watching the movie, and they looked over and seen Michael Myers in the house towards the back half of the movie, when Jamie's in the house and stuff. They look over at him. He's just standing there like this, not approaching him, doing nothing. It's just goofy as fuck. especially in that mask. I always call it the pigeon mask because it makes him look like a fucking pigeon. But yeah, Halloween 5. I actually don't hate Halloween 5 as much as most people do. Because like when I used to come home for Halloween, and you know, when I was a little kid, AMC was always playing those. And every time I got home, it was always like Halloween 4, 5, 6, or H2O that was on. So, but terrible portrayal of Michael Myers for real. Coming after that, we got Halloween 4. See, the one thing I will say I like about Halloween 4 is Michael Myers is he's smart. Like how he goes and, you know, shuts out the whole city's power to the point where like they introduced for the first time mob rule in the franchise. Like he's a threat. He's a very opposing threat. It's just the mask, the hockey pads, the very stiff walk. You know, he's a threat, but he's not Michael Myers. Like they really lost sight of who Michael Myers was after the first two. Really after the first movie. But especially after the first two, they really lost, like, what Michael Myers is supposed to be. Not just, you know, a senseless killer. And I blame Friday the 13th for that, to be honest with you. Because, you know, Friday the 13th is actually a well-known ripoff of Halloween. But Halloween kind of went dormant. And then Friday the 13th took over the 80s with Nightmare on Elm Street. Because you got 78 Halloween 1, 81 Halloween 2. Michael Myers in Halloween 4 didn't come until 1988. You had a Friday the 13th movie in 1980, 81, 82. Like, you know, you had a Friday the 13th movie every single year. That's why people eventually got tired of them. Same with Nightmare on Elm Street. But I don't know. Like in Halloween 4, he doesn't have a lot of character to him. I mean, like I said, he's still an opposing threat though. So after that, I got Halloween H2O, and I don't think that Michael Myers is bad in this movie. It's just you really only see him for 2 extended periods of time if you think about it. You see him in the beginning, you know, when he goes to that nurse's house to get the Loomis's files, the nurse from the first one. And then when there's like, once he gets to the campus and it's like all those kids leave for the Yosemite, then you have like probably about a 30-minute period where you get glimpses. Like Michael Myers is always a threat throughout those 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Because the audience knows and eventually the people know in the movie. So he's like a looming threat, but he's really not in the movie all that much. And H2O is literally like 88 minutes long. So with what we get from him, I think he does better than the movies below that. But once again, like not a lot of substance to his character. You know, like what makes H2O so great is Laurie's character in that movie. If I was to rank Laurie's movies, H2O would be fucking number 1. No kidding. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the dynamic between them, you know, is so powerful in that movie because Laurie's tired of running, tired of being scared. That's why H2O has such like a weight to it. But I don't think that the portrayal of Michael Myers is like, you know, top fucking tier or anything. Now after this, so H2O, like I said, is mid. I can watch the movie, like the movie. But I don't think that's like best Michael Myers. These next ones going like onward forward are S tier killers for me. You know what I'm saying? Like absolutely menacing Michael Myers is like what I like. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to make him gigantic to be a menace because there's certain characteristics in other movies where he's not jacked up and tall, and he's just an opposing threat. You know what I mean? And it's like, next I got Halloween 6. The one thing I'll say about this, it's like he's kind of a mix of both in that movie. You know what I mean? Because he's bigger, but he's not like Tyler Mane big. You know what I'm saying? But he's also like, there's that scene, that iconic scene of when he's walking across the street and it's like thunderstorming outside. At his steady pace, he's still that stalker. You know, when that old lady's telling that kid, Danny, about the story and legend of Michael Myers and the lightning flashes, you see him standing outside the window. Like, they start to kind of like get back into the groove of what Michael Myers was as a character specifically. The movie, you know, just off the walls, but Michael Myers and Halloween 6, top tier. After that, Halloween 2. Now, the thing about this is, I feel like Nick Castle and Dick Warlock are very similar and very different at the same time. Like Nick Castle is a very, when I think of Nick Castle, I think of the character of Michael Myers. Dick Warlock was literally just like somebody trying to like put their own spin on a Nick Castle. Does that make sense? Like he's a lot more robotic in this movie, but the movie itself and the way he goes from like stalker to like slowly becoming like straight up slasher killer, I just fucking love it. Like I don't know, maybe it's a biased opinion for sure, but I think Halloween 2 Michael Myers is dope. After that, we got Rob Zombie. Halloween 1, 2007, Rob Zombie. The first remake's what I meant to say, not Halloween 1. But see, as much as I don't like that movie as much as everybody else does, that's probably the last Michael Myers I would want to see on the streets, bro. Not gonna lie to you, because like I think Tyler Mane is 7'2", you know, ex pro wrestler. That scene in that movie when she comes in and finds Annie on the ground and the door just slowly starts to close and you just see him damn near, like, you're almost like, how does she not see him over the door? He's that tall, you know what I'm saying? Or when she leaves and he goes after Laurie's foster parents and he just walks in, and the angle that, like, the angle that her mom's at, like, looking up at him when he just throws the dad over, he's just a menace, bro. He's aggressive. Like, he does that slow walking still, but he's just so aggressive. It's just like, for as many problems I had with 2007 Halloween, I will say, for a while when I was a kid, that was my favorite Michael Myers, just because he was so badass. Now, the next two is, I'm grouping these in the same, but it's Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. I think that James Jude Courtney gets more room to explore his character, Michael Myers, in Halloween Kills, because that's basically just a Michael Myers-centric movie. That's why I love it so much, even though, you know, it does have its problems. And Halloween 2018, you know, they spent a lot of time developing that story. So it's kind of like Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills is almost the same as Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, as in if you watch it as a double feature, it's almost just like one long movie. But I think James Jude Courtney understands Michael Myers the best, besides, you know, obviously, who's next. I think James Jude Courtney is just like, I don't know, he just embodied the character of Michael Myers, and it was so cool to see, because, you know, like I said, the last few movies we've gotten before the remake trilogy, what? Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, okay, Hobo Michael Myers. Then you had the, you know, Halloween 2007, but before that, Resurrection, you know what I'm saying? Halloween H2O, CGI masks, Halloween 5, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is the closest we've gotten to a replica almost of who my number one is, which is obviously Nick Castle by process of elimination. And Nick Castle, like, I don't know if you guys ever seen Nick Castle. He is a short dude. And for him to make this character of Michael Myers so intimidating and so scary and so, like, spooky, and to feel so ghost-like, I mean, especially without even showing your face, that takes a lot more talent than people probably give credit for. So, and Michael Myers is literally always had like this gigantic, I've always had this gigantic fandom over Michael Myers, you know what I'm saying? I can't really put a finger on what it is about Michael Myers, but it's just like, aside from the embodiment of evil, he feels like what a slasher character should be to me. You know what I mean? Not too OP, not too paranormal, even though you could say in the later movies he's definitely hella supernatural. But, you know, he's got so much, like, humanoid to him as well, you know what I mean? As well as being ambiguous. So, yeah, that's my ranking. I'm going to go ahead and get to filming this Ghostface Killers ranking. And like I said, not sure if that'll be dropping today or not. But by the time I drop that, I'll check the comments, see what you guys thought about this video. Thanks for spending time with me today.